Good evening, fellow YouTubers. Like I showed you in previous videos, the brick wash technique. As you can see, I don't know how well the light's picking it up, but this has been sitting for a little bit over roughly 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And you basically let it sit there for a couple of hours and let it dry. And all you do is basically you grab a wet towel or a sponge, whatever you got handy. And then you just basically just come over and you just lightly rub on it. You don't have to rub too hard, because if you rub too hard, you'll see here in a minute, most of that paint will come right off. All you're trying to do is just rub enough off so you have that effect. You can see it does have the mortar effect. Like I said, if it gets too dry and you're... Yes, I have a full plate of dishes. Don't ridicule me. Comment below if you want to. Go ahead. But all you're basically doing is just lightly rubbing it off. And then you just want to get the desired effect that you can live with, that will make it happy for you. It doesn't matter what anybody says or talks about. Me, I ring it out pretty well. Yes, I am fighting a little bit of a cold. Now, see, I've let it set up a little, probably too little long. So, I'll use a sponge here real quick and see if that will help me. Yeah, there we go. Use the green side on the sponge and just lightly. A magic eraser, I believe is what Model Man Mike used in his YouTube video. It's just whatever you have handy. If you think a sponge will work, then use a sponge. If you think a magic eraser is gonna do really good, then use that. It's what you feel comfortable with. Make sure you're happy with the results. It's gonna be your building, it's your railroad. It's what you like in life and what you wanna see. Yeah, opinions do kind of matter, but I mean, and ultimately, who's gotta put up with it all day? It's going to be you looking at your own railroad. You know, this technique is pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it's kind of a unique technique to get the mortar in it. I mean, if you're not careful, like I wasn't here, that came out. And yeah, I mean, it's going to take, you know, some doing to get used to it. But I mean, once you get used to it, you'll be fine. Like I said, it just takes practice. That's all it is. And you got to remember, too, in the real world, masons are not always perfect. And what I mean by that is, you know, if it's a Friday and they're ready to go home, they ain't going to worry about, oh, they'll look at it, they're like, yeah, that's not too much of a mess. Yeah, we'll just leave it a little heavy there. Or, hey, you know, whatever. So you got to just play with it. You got to figure out what you want to do. I'm not going to make this video too long. I got another one to do, but I mean, I'm just basically wiping and looking at it and seeing what I want to do with it. If I want to put another coat. If I like it just the way it is. I'm just kind of holding it up to the light. I know the light's a little bit dim. Sorry about that. Well, like I said, you don't have to go too crazy rubbing. All you do is just kind of rub it lightly. I already know this middle strip right here I'm going to have to redo. Excuse me, I'm fighting a cold. So, like I said, in some spots I got to use the sponge a little bit. Now for me, Just looking at it, this looks like they repaired it. I'll have to put a light coat of that in here. But for me, I like how that turned out. It's pretty sweet. Like I said, this in here by the windows is a little heavy, but I mean, what are you going to do? It's a little recessed nook. You could try to, that'll work. Kind of go in there, lighten it up a little bit. If you don't like that wash, try to, you know, when you're putting it on, try to use your brush and get it out. I mean, like I said, masons are not perfect in real world either. I mean, they're going to have imperfections. I worked with masons in the construction trade for many, many years. I've been in and around the construction trade for many, many years. So I know it's not a perfect, you know, thing. So as you can see, and I'm sorry for the lighting here. Let me pick you up. Now you probably just saw my big old hand. But as you can see, it's not that bad. This is the before, when you put the wash on. Now here's the after. Now if you look at it, yeah, you might look at it like this right here is a little too heavy. I will probably come in with a toothpick, pick it out a little bit. But for me, that's kind of the look I'm going for. I'll do the same with this one here. And then what I'll do is, once I get it to like this, then I will start probably assembling the building. I'll probably put up 2 walls and get the middle in. Excuse me, I'm fighting the cold. And then there's some weathering powders that I want to get my mitts on. It's a little expensive, so that'll be in the works too. I also got to get some styrene. That's also in the works too. I want to do a couple things with this module, or this building, and it's going to be the start of the buildings on all my buildings. You'll see that in later videos. I will try to break up all the painting videos. I will try to get some other videos going here, probably a little bit of rail fanning. You might see some woodworking, you might see me build a computer, but for right now, that's all I wanted to show you. Have a great night, guys. Later.